Greetings, geeks, and welcome to Wizards, the podcast guide to comics YouTube series. I'm Michael,
I'm Adam.
and this is Action Figure Fury. All right, so this particular episode, I've got some pretty cool stuff. I think, anyway. I don't know what Adam has, as per usual. He always likes to keep me in suspense. But I will forewarn everyone that neither one of the figures I'm showing today is severely damaged or deconstructed.
Disappointing. You know what the people show up for, Michael.
Exactly. I know they're going to be clicking away. Oh, I don't want to see this working action figure. So, but yeah, so I've been dying to particularly show this one figure because it's kind of interesting and there's a funny little backstory to it. And my first figure is this Flash. And what's interesting about this Flash is it has like a little dial, and just like those little froggers you'd have in the bathtub, when you crank it, the arms go. And these arms still go a little bit. And I had two of these at one point, and they were two different sizes. One was slightly larger and a slightly different head, but they were the exact same generation. And one of them burst into a million pieces, but this one remained. The only weird thing about this one is it's either white out or something on his knee that I don't really fully understand. but of my figures of this era, this is probably the most intact figure. I never chewed on any of the hands. I never ate the feet. Nothing. But and amazingly, the arms still go a little bit, which is pretty
That's
fun.
so interesting that you say there was a variation in size and all that, because when I was looking in the price guide we're going to be using today, this Toy Fair from 1998, the cover figures may give you some indication of what is to come.
Oh, good.
Here it lists a bunch of different variants on that Flash. Most of them have to do actually with the size of the insignia.
Yes, and the other one had a larger insignia on the chest as well, and that's why it was so interesting, because this is the smaller of the two insignias. The other one was a bit larger, and the head was bigger as well.
And I will tell you, the variation that I had as a kid was the one, it had a little, basically it looked like a skateboard, and it had this molded cloud of smoke and lightning in it. And you would stick him on there, it had pegs, and then it would zoom along, but it looked like he was running fast.
Yeah. This one has no pegs.
Oh.
Like, that was another weird thing. Like, you couldn't stand this one, on any kind of peg, but he'll stand up a little bit, which is fine. He's standing up right now, actually, funny enough. So, but
well,
yeah,
obviously at the time it was a big deal because of the Flash TV series from 1990. We've covered it. You can go back in the Wizards archives. We did a whole show on it.
Yeah,
one of our best. Great discussion.
It is a great discussion. And that was the funny thing about this figure, was it had the yellow boots as opposed to the TV show was an all red suit.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your first unboxed figure?
All right, so mine is sort of a set, and you might say, is this stretching? But it is not, because we have here Kenner's RoboCop.
All right, I had that figure. Yeah, wow.
The Ultra Police, the removable helmet there, so you see Murphy underneath, right? And so the thing that was special about this figure to me is it really did, it was a great interpretation of the character in plastic. But yes, is it related to comics? He had a Marvel comic book series. They did the adaptations of the films, so Marvel handled all of that. And there's something else I'm going to share with you in a little bit that you guys might recall from back in the day. But the other fun feeture of this, if you can see here,
yes, I remember. Wasn't that like
caps? I got to make it
right.
go.
It was caps, so it made like a gunshot sound, right?
There we go.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You get the smoke. Can you see the smoke coming off?
Oh, yeah. I have something I can show you that relates to that figure.
Oh, really? Has that feature?
So a funny thing about that particular figure, remember it came with a vehicle, right?
There was a vehicle you could purchase. Yeah, which one do you have here?
So there was a motorcycle, and the motorcycle was white and like a shiny metallic white blue thing, but they made a variant for Batman and I have the Batman one.
That's right. Was that for the animated series line?
No, this was for the
Dark
Batman,
Knight?
the Dark Knight line.
Oh, okay.
And the only difference between the RoboCop one and this one, the Batman one had wings that you could put into the sides of it,
Oh.
and it did this really cool thing. You have
Here,
it in
right
the
here.
box.
In the box.
Box.
Yeah, the RoboCop version.
One of the coolest things about these bikes was if you turned the wheel, the gun moved. And I used to take these things apart all the time and like mix and match the pieces between the RoboCop one and this one and kind of like custom make them a little bit. But I don't know where the RoboCop one is anymore. I've long gone. I wish I still had the wings for this thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you could literally take this figure, put that RoboCop figure right on this bike, and he would fit no problem.
Well, and speaking of vehicular type characters, you can't have your hero without a villain. So
I didn't even know they made that. Wow.
Yes. So this is a character from the animated series. Let me explain here. You might look at this and say, "Oh, he's Ed 209 from RoboCop the movie," but he is not. This is actually Ed 260 from the animated series that was produced by Marvel. Okay,
get it right, people.
That's right. You want the details, you got to do it. But he had the same feature. Like he had the whole clicky thing back here. You could put the caps in him as well. So this is, I mean, I just love this design. It's so fun. Not so much when he's squealing. Like that part's a little embarrassing, but all right, so let's talk prices real quick on our loose figures.
You know what was another vehicle like that did that squealing noise? Remember with the superpowers Superman thing had that suit he could sit in, and it had
the legs.
Yes, it did the same kind of weird noise. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are the prices on these suckers?
Your Flash figure back in the day was going for a whopping $4.
Yes.
And that was probably less than you paid off the shelf, right? Because it costs usually like $4.99. So here's only $4. If it's out, it's loose. Okay. Nowadays, $5 to $7. So it really hasn't gone up in value. They were very common.
There was a million of them. There was one of those you could find all the time. Now, what about your RoboCop?
So this is what's really interesting. So in the price guide, a loose RoboCop, a loose Ed 260, they were only going for $5 or $6 a piece.
Wow, there was a lot of them though. They were everywhere.
But they were like at KB toy stores a lot, like that line. So it wasn't very popular. But nowadays, the RoboCop goes for $30, even loose, and the Ed 260 goes for like $30 to $50.
Wow,
so
that's pretty cool.
I know they're supposed to be making a new RoboCop eventually. So we'll see.
Another reboot of it. And I'm amazed you still have the gun too. I find it so funny though that like back in the day, toy makers thought, hey, let's give kids an action figure with caps in it. Like that was just the norm, and it was totally cool, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Pops figures had the little guns.
Yes. So weird. So my in the box figure is something that I was searching for a long time. I had this as a kid and lost it or got, went on to Peoria, but it is this Captain America. And this was a cool line because it had a lot of cool figures, and it was sort of like the line after the Secret Wars set.
Right.
And this one had this little thing you could put on his arm and launch the shield. He wouldn't throw it, but it would like shoot out kind of thing. And I had this figure. I think Joe had the Hulk, and I had Daredevil, and I had the Dr. Octopus at one point, and then they all kind of fell apart. Now, was this the same line that Suction Cup Spider-Man came from?
Yeah,
it was.
So
okay,
that was the Marvel Superheroes by Toy Biz. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now I know you said you were on a big U.S. agent run at one point. Did you get the repainted Captain America?
No, I never did. I wish I did. I wish I did. I would love to find that again because I do really love U.S. Agent, and it would be cool to have both of them. And I got this off of a guy on Facebook who I bought a bunch of stuff from. I bought a bunch of stuff from, And yeah, it was really super excited to even see this, and I got it he sold it to me for like $10.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a great condition,
Yeah,
except for that little bend on the bottom. But
one
it's just
little
a
bend in the
great
corner,
color.
but the box is in great shape. So, what do you got in the box?
All right. So for me, I kind of teased it earlier. Again, I have to justify, is this related to comic books? Of course it is. Marvel Comics produced Kiss Comics in the 70s. And then shortly after this line, there was actually the McFarlane Comics produced, right? Or well, Image through McFarlane, right? Produced the Psycho Circus comic. And so the reason I can justify this even more, though, is so this came out in 1997, this series, and I actually went to San Diego Comic-Con in 1997, and the only thing I bought was a Kiss bootleg VHS concert tape and all 4 of these figures in the series, okay? They are not in the box. My original ones I opened, I built a stage for them, I displayed them. I put Simmons on wires, so he was like hanging above the stage. Like, it was great. But this one, I just wanted that feeling again of the original look of the box. And so I got this. But also at this time, there was a special Kiss magazine that came out during the reunion tour called Kiss Nation, where Kiss teamed up with the X-Men.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a big crossover thing. Anyway, so this is special. You can see there's actually Spawn movie figures on the back.
Oh, wow.
So the same time as the Spawn movie.
The animated movie or the live action one?
No, the live action movie.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So yeah, so very cool, very fun with the demon there. So as far as pricing goes, this one's really interesting. So your Captain America in 1998, just 8 years after it was on shelves, went for $20.
Wow.
It was pretty highly valued for that time.
Pretty cool.
Nowadays, it's weird. It kind of fluctuates, but it goes from like $13 to $27.
Huh.
I saw one for 45 and I was like, why is it 40? Oh, it was international. It was kind of like it showed us the French packaging on that superpowers, you know.
Lay Captain.
Right. Yeah. So you about broke even in what you paid for it versus what it's worth.
I'm good with that. It's cool.
I did not fare so well. Now,
really?
Again, they had Kiss on the cover of this issue. You better value their figures well, right? This was actually the Psycho Circus figures. These are not the same from that series, but I know.
You're telling me Gene Simmons figures aren't going to hold up?
Hard to believe. But in here, it actually says that it was worth $15 at the time.
Okay.
So, okay, that's pretty good value. Nowadays, though, they go for like $5 to $7. Sorry, Kiss is still touring, but I guess the popularity is waning.
It also might be a wide variety. There's just so much Kiss merchandise out there nowadays. Like, it's just, they might have flooded the market too much at one point, and it was just
true. I mean, McFarlane just continuously for almost like 10 years did a series after series after series, special editions. So yeah, they really flooded the market with their figures. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty fun collection we had.
That was pretty good. I like that. And to flood the market with some new stuff, this is my 2021 Wizards the Podcast Guide to Comics long sleeve T-shirt in navy blue. I just got it. I'm super excited. So if you want to get some cool merch like we've got, go to our TeePublic store. You can also check us out on our Instagram, which is Wizards_comics, or our Twitter, Wizards Comics. You can also subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Wizards Comics. And don't forget to like and subscribe here at the YouTube channel to get some of these awesome videos. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing some really fun crossover events on the podcast as well, which are going to be pretty cool. But until next time, don't forget to be books, bagged and boarded. See you around.